It is time to go through all the books I read the month of June. I read a total of 6 books. 3 books were on my Kindle, 2 were physical books, and then 1 was an audiobook. So let's dive into it. The first book I actually read on my Kindle, and then I loved it so much I ended up picking up a copy in physical form because I was utterly obsessed with it. So the first book I read was The Girl Who Wrote in Silk by Kelly Estes, and I rated this 4 stars. In this story, we are following our main character who is exploring her deceased aunt's very elaborate island estate, and she comes across this very intricate, elaborate, fancy piece of fabric or silk, and she becomes very captivated by this because it is woven with a beautiful picture, and she thinks that there's a story behind this piece of fabric. So we end up going on a journey with her, trying to uncover the story that this piece of fabric has woven within it, and she comes to find out that some of her life is interwoven with this individual of the piece of fabric that she found, which is Mei Lin, which is a young Chinese woman. This is a historical fiction that we get some of the past chapters learning about Mei Lin and her story and journey, and then we obviously get the current day while our main female character is trying to uncover the secrets and the truth behind some history within the estate and history of this piece of fabric. I could not put this book down. It was definitely a story that I generally wouldn't pick up, but I had someone in my life that recommended this book to me, and I couldn't have been more happier with this read. It was a little out of my comfort zone with it being a historical fiction, but it was so good. I was so captivated by the story, and it's based on real events that happened, which was the Chinese Exclusion Act. And I really didn't know much about that horrific time. So to kind of hear this story that was inspired by true events was utterly heartbreaking, but also so interesting to learn about it in a fictional sense. But I think the author did such a beautiful job. I loved reading the past chapters and getting the story and the pieces together. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful read, and I really, really enjoyed it. Next up, I read In Her Own League by Liz Tomforde, and I rated this 5 stars. This is a spin-off of the Windy City series that I absolutely love. And in this story, we finally get to know Monty a little bit more in depth. We see Monty throughout some of the other interconnected standalone books in the Windy City series. He was a former baseball player, now coach. And so we follow him, and then we also get Reese, who is one of the first, if not the first, female baseball team owners. And she is under a lot of scrutiny right now, given the fact that she is the first female owner of a baseball team. She is really focused on getting the respect of a very male-dominated field and has 0 time for distractions. But then Monty comes in as one of her coaches, and he is really not looking forward to having a new boss because he has pretty much ran the team his way for a very long time. There is a little bit of the tension between the two of them as she's trying to make it in this field, and Monty is not super pumped about having a new owner of the team to kind of tell him how he's supposed to run his team. I really enjoyed this. All of her books are just so easy to read, very bingeable. She is such an empowering author for women in general, which I love that. One heads up I will say about most of the books that I've read by her are that they are a very, very, very spicy book. So proceed with caution if that's not really your thing. But aside from that, the story in itself is just really easy to digest and such a fun, quick and easy read. I really enjoyed this. Next up, I read Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, and I rated both of these books 5 stars. In this story, a war between the gods has broken out. We follow our main character, Iris, whose brother goes off to fight in the war and is missing. And she is basically trying to keep her family together, and she works at the Oath Gazette, and she is trying to fight for a promotion. In comes her rival, which is Roman. There's a lot of tension between the two of them because they're in this competition to basically win this new promotion. Iris has essentially this magical typewriter that she can write letters on, and it basically like goes into the abyss, and it lands into the hands of Roman. And Iris does not know that Roman is receiving these letters. Their typewriters are connected through magic. The letter aspect of these stories are so fun and so beautiful. The writing was absolutely amazing. Iris gets called to be a war correspondent as she's trying to find her brother and also report on the war. It is such a fun read. It's young adult. It is such an easy read. I literally binged the two of these books back to back on my Kindle because they're on Kindle Unlimited, and I thoroughly enjoyed these books. Next up, I listened to the second book in the Crescent City series, which I believe is called House of Sky and Breath. I rated this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I'm enjoying the audiobooks. I've been listening to the graphic audio, which makes it such an immersive experience because you have sound effects and different characters that are talking and acting out the actual story, which was really fun to listen to it because there's a lot of action that goes on. There are so many twists and turns in this book. I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting a lot of things, and the ending left me on the edge of my seat. Literally, I think I squealed when I finished the book listening to it. I was like, I immediately need to listen to the third book. But basically the series is an urban fantasy. We're following Bryce Quinlan, and she gets into a lot of different things. The urban fantasy aspect of it is very interesting because they have cell phones, they go to clubs, all of that. When I read the first book, the urban side of things was a little hard to get used to, and I think it's still not my favorite, but it definitely has grown on me because of just the found family aspect and the story in itself. The magic system is crazy, and there's so many levels to it, and I definitely get a little bit confused throughout it, but I really am enjoying it so far. I'm excited to read the last one as well because there are some crossovers with some of Sarah J. Maas's other books. So I'm very interested to see where the rest of this series goes. Last but certainly not least, I read Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It by Brooke Averick, and I rated this 5 stars. This book was so wonderful and such a easy, bingeable read. We're following Phoebe, who is about to turn 30 years old, and she has severe intimacy anxiety, and she is determined to overcome this fear and creates basically a list of things that she can do before she turns 30 to essentially overcome this fear. This writing and story is so wholesome and funny. Brooke Averick, I adore her. I love Brooke and Connor Make a Podcast. I definitely could hear her humor in her writing, and it was so relatable. And I think that's what I loved the most about this is that you read a lot of romance books and everything is kind of put together and nobody seems to be nervous, and if they are, it's kind of like played off as really cutesy and whatever. And I think with this book it's relatable in the sense of there's just awkward moments where you say something to someone or you have some sort of awkward interaction where you leave and you're like, why on earth did I say that or do that? And I just think it embraces the human aspect of romance and growing up and becoming an adult and being in your almost 30s and just navigating romance and dating and all of the things. But I loved it. The friend group in this book is so fun. She has 3 love interests that you're kind of like trying to see what avenue she's gonna go. I was really shocked. There was a plot twist that I was not expecting, and for a romance, I feel like that's super fun because you don't really get a lot of plot twists, I think, in romance novels. I thought that was really fun and clever. I certainly didn't pick up on it, but maybe I'm naive, as I have said before. Sometimes I don't pick up on things, but I loved it. It was so good. It was so fun. I really couldn't stop reading it. I could read so many more books of the characters within this story. I wish this was a series, which I think it's getting picked up as a potential Netflix series or Amazon. I can't remember which one. There's so many series happening, but I hope it becomes like not just a movie. I hope it's like a series and has seasons and like builds off of this group. It just was such a fun read. I loved it, and I am so glad that I picked this up. That is all the books that I read in the month of June. I had a really good reading month. I feel like I really got into a groove and a routine of just binging books. I don't know if it's just been right book, right time, but I have just been having so much fun with these kind of summary reads, and there's also so many exciting things coming out in the book world, I feel like, in the next couple of months. I'm excited to continue to see what books I get into, but as always, I thought we could go and update my book journal together. For listening to me yap about books and watching this video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. I definitely encourage you to pick up a book, something out of your comfort zone or something that you know that you'll love as well, but sit down and read a book. It's really fun. Thanks again for listening to me and watching me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.